Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey here, and today we're going to be comparing two of the greatest sprinters of all time. We have Usain Bolt here as well as Carl Lewis, and I know we can get more in depth into maybe like Flojo could be another top sprinter, but I think from a male perspective, the two best sprinters ever are these two guys. And I know that some people may say that from a mechanics perspective, Mustafa Powell may be a little bit better, could maybe make the argument that even Noah Lyles is really good, Michael Johnson. I think that all those guys are great when it comes to the mechanics, but Carl Lewis is just so good. He really dominated the 80s, both the 100 Olympic champion, 200 meter Olympic champion, and the long jump. And that's really why, to me, he's the other top track and field athlete amongst Usain Bolt. Obviously, he's the world record holder, longtime world record holder, won the 100 and 200 meter for really all of the early 2000s in the Olympics as well as in the World Championships. But we'll get more in depth into what they are both doing when they're sprinting. And one of the things that stands out to me with Carl Lewis is I know some of the teaching that he talks about when it comes to like cheek to cheek, and some of the cues that he used was within the arms. And even I saw a video that he did where he is running in like slow motion, and you could see he's really trying to work on some of the fundamentals that he is kind of coaching or teaching. But it seems like when he gets into his competitive environment, he was behind and had to come back and really use that, I think, more technically sound mechanics to be able to do that. And the reason I say that is, and I think an important thing to start off here is going to be with the arms. And what I think they both do very, very good with that arm swing is they come really right up and through, keeping it really tight with the hands. And this is again a video where he is kind of not running as fast, and you can see how his arms are going much more forward here, but then here he's getting more of like an upward action. And I see athletes a lot of times they get a little bit more forward with their hands and don't get that same type of height here, and I think that ends up kind of impacting how they strike the ground. And so I think it's an important thing to be able to recognize what you're doing when it comes to that foot strike. It does look like with his legs, he's doing a really good job of creating good pull there and striking, so it looks good on the lower half. He does a similar thing as he's at top speed. And really, to me, when you're an athlete, and the whole idea with making this video is to make it so we could really simplify some of the main things that we want to be able to work on when it comes to your sprinting mechanics. I think the more you can make it as simple as possible, then it gives you a lot better opportunity to have success. And that's really what I do these videos for, is for you to have success when it comes to your sprinting. First thing is going to be that arm swing coming right up and through, really more upwards as you're coming forward, and then more of a long kind of back swing here. And the reason the backswing is important is because I think that makes a big impact on how you're striking the ground. So you can see the action like out of this left arm is going to work simultaneously with that right leg as the left arm striking the ground, as that left arm is pulling back, that right foot is striking the ground. And from a general perspective, it's most important to, and this is what these two guys do very well, and really all top sprinters do really well, is they maximize the front side. So there's really a lot more time spent out in front here, and they try to minimize the backside, right? So it's really a 2-to-3 ratio is what I've found. Okay, so 2/3 of the time the legs are spent in front, 1/3 is with the foot spent behind. And again, this is amongst the top guys, right? You can see there's Carl Lewis, how long he is out in front, but how short he is with his foot back behind. And it's a similar thing with Usain Bolt. Again, this is what the top guys are able to accomplish, is they're just very short with that leg coming right up and through as it's coming off the ground. There's not a ton of wasted motion, whether going up or going back. It's really coming straight back underneath. And then when it gets here, there's a big emphasis on getting out. Now, when you get out, you still have to have the ability to pull the foot back to make it so then when you're landing, you're still landing on the front part of the foot. So that's another kind of mistake that I'll see with, I guess, younger athletes or just athletes that aren't as fast, is they might get better extension out in front, better range out in front, but then struggle to be able to still strike the ground with the front part of the foot. And a lot of that has to do with just what you're doing through the foot, what you're doing through the ankle. You got to be active through the motions within the ankle. This is something that I talk about a lot when it comes to the sprinting mechanics. And what in general you have to be thinking about here, and I want to get a little bit into the training because I think that's going to be important. And I'll see this a lot where people will go and get more front side mechanics, right, and really work on that front side and the length on the front side, but then aren't still not running fast. Okay, it looks really good, but they're not running fast. And the reason is because there's just not enough force being generated into the ground. We can see with this, Usain Bolt is getting upwards of 1,000, somewhere between 900 to 1,000 pounds of force into the ground during his steps. This is when he's running, about probably 27 miles an hour. When you're running, so this is going to be to run 27 miles an hour, you're going to have to be creating, 4 to 5 times your body weight of force in 0.08 seconds, right? So not only is it a lot of force being generated, right? Again, 1,000 pounds, or for him about 5 times his body weight. Okay, for a lot of you guys, if you could just run 3, or if you could just consistently be 3 times your body weight of force into the ground, even 3 to 4, you're going to be one of the top sprinters in your state or within just the country in general. And so you have to be able to do that, or be able to do that and still maintain a 0.08 to 0.1 foot contact time. So what's amazing with him is he's able to generate so much force into the ground and still be very fast. 3 to 4 times is going to probably be about 25 miles an hour, just for a clear understanding, which is going to be like low 0.9s when it comes to your splits, right? Which is going to be very, very fast. It's a very fast person that can run 25 miles an hour, even 26 miles an hour, which is going to be closer to like 4 times your body weight of force. Now, really getting into how to be able to effectively do that, when it comes to your training, I think a lot of it goes into just being able to be very active with the foot, very active with the ankle, and just very powerful with the movements, right? Being very specific with the jumps. I think doing things like depth jumps, drop jumps, things like that are really important to be able to generate more power on the ground. But we also have to be very quick off the ground. That's why I say plyometrics are important, or depth drops and things like that, because when you land, you just want to be able to train your body from 2 legs as well as 1 leg to be able to be very quick and being able to also push off the ground. And I think the combination of being able to pair the mechanics here, right, understand and really work on the mechanics, because part of your training wants to obviously be working on the mechanics, working on front side, right, work on the arm swing, and then work on the ankle action. If you can get all 3 of these things down, then you're going to be able to start running very fast. Okay, and then you want to pair that up with, when you're training, doing a lot of ankle jumps, depth jumps, plyos, and really drills where you're working on your foot strike and how much power you're able to generate in the ground. And the more you could do that, the more range of motion that you get, and the more ability you're able to train your body of how to be able to generate the most amount of force into the ground, then I think that's going to translate into you being able to run very, very fast. And so just continuing to work on those main things, everything that I show you here, and just best that you can emulate the Carl Lewis's, the Usain Bolt, the Noah Lyles, Usain Thompson, all these guys. That's why Usain Thompson is the fastest guy in the world. You watch him, he is all front side, just amazing ability to maintain that front side mechanics. And that's why he's constantly running these 9.7s, 9.8s in the 100 meter, the fastest guy in the world right now. And was the fastest guy in the world last year as well. When it comes to just the number perspective, he obviously didn't win the world championships, but he ran the fastest time. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions after watching this. Would love to be able to answer them, and check out some of the things we have in the description down below to find out more about what we do. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.